This is exactly what the Buccaneers need to do, as everything is now in full swing regarding a coaching search for the offensive coordinator position. Todd Bowles, Jason Licht, the entire organization, they are looking for the answer, and I have an option that must be considered, and I'm very much hoping to see will be considered in the coaching interviews. I'm Sebastian, the Buccaneers Digest. Welcome back, everyone. This is a video ever since we fired Grizzard I have been hoping to make and really excited to make. The interviews have already started, which we will get into, and but there is one particular candidate that is not just a coordinator plan for me, but a long-term Buccaneers success plan. So I just want to make sure that everyone sticks around and listens to what I'm about to say, because I truly believe in what I'm going to be talking about in this video. But first things first, we do have to get into the sponsor for today's video.
Before we get into the rest of today's show, this video is brought to you by Kalshi. If you download Kalshi using the link in the description and use code DIGESTNFL, you're going to get $20 when you trade your first 100. Kalshi is the largest prediction market in the United States, and on their platform you can trade yes or no on real-life events such as sports, elections, news, even weather. You can find everything on Kalshi. Now, whether you're in California, Texas, or anywhere across the country, Kalshi is now live in all 50 states. For sports fans, we can trade on game outcomes, playoff chances, or player performances, all on a regulated market where you can cash out anytime. As we look forward in the NFL calendar, we can look toward the NFL draft and see that Fernando Mendoza's odds are skyrocketing right now on Kalshi to be the number one overall pick. You can also trade on a maybe more lesser-known option, Ruben Bain Jr. It's genuinely the smarter way to use your sports or news knowledge, and you can close positions whenever you want. Download Kalshi with the link in the description, and don't forget to use this code DIGESTNFL to get your $20 bonus.
All right, and that will take us to the meat of the video. So first things first, what are the interviews going on right now? What are the Buccaneers currently doing? Here we go. So the first things first, the Buccaneers did post this morning, that they have interviewed Brian Callahan for the offensive coordinator position, which you could hear a collective groan from the Buccaneers fan base when they all saw this news. Callahan was one of the worst head coaches this year, was fired pretty on in the season, barely made it through his first year, and did not make it far into his second season as a head coach. Which happens. Listen, Josh McDaniels, terrible head coach, great offensive coordinator. People kind of question whether or not what role did Callahan play regarding the Bengals' success when he was the offensive coordinator there and went to the Super Bowl, or was that more of a Zach Taylor-led play calling situation? So I am not thrilled with this candidate. I doubt many others are thrilled with this candidate. We have interviewed him before. It was a virtual interview, so who's to say if it was actually a very serious consideration, but it is worth noting that interviews have begun, and we will be reporting on basically every single one of them as we continue on. But the main guy that I want to talk about today is Davis Webb. He is getting head coaching interviews already. He has interviewed for the Raiders and Ravens, as you can see, head coaching positions. This guy has not even been a coordinator yet, and I do want to break down who this guy is, what he's doing. So here, first things first, I want to have a confession here. My second team in the NFL are the Denver Broncos, and so I know this specific situation quite well, and maybe that makes me a bit biased. I mean, listen, first team is Tampa Bay, do not get me wrong, but Davis Webb is the passing game coordinator / quarterbacks coach at Denver, and he has been nothing short of a huge piece of that team. They allowed him to do some playmaking calls in the preseason against the Arizona Cardinals. The offense looked sensational ever since then. So then when the Broncos offense this year was struggling, everyone was clamoring, let Davis Webb call the plays. They wanted Sean Payton to give up the play calling, to give it to this guy. And it's very important to know he's the real deal. He hasn't even been an offensive coordinator yet, and he's getting head coaching interviews right now. So that's not a mistake. It is definitely, or not a coincidence, I should say. This guy's the real deal, and it's really exciting to consider the future of what this guy could be for the Buccaneers if they do interview him and consider him. Adam Slavin from Pewter Report said that Webb is a very intriguing, and as a former NFL quarterback, he would pair well with Baker Mayfield. There are many more available options by going with a younger, more unproven offensive coordinator. That is likely the only path for Todd Bowles to find one, and while there is more risk, the reward would be developing his ultimate successor at head coach. So, speaking of that, it is really important. I mean, this is also a really cool quote from Davis Webb. He said, one mistake that coaches make in this league, which is hilarious, is they handcuff quarterbacks and they drill them mechanically and make them something that they couldn't do. And this is exactly what sells me on this guy, because a lot of my complaints of Todd Bowles this season has been trying to drill into guys, especially defensively, to do things that where their strengths do not lie and are doing things that are out of their capabilities. Like, he believes that every single player that he coaches is capable of the highest potential of said position that they're playing, and that's not realistic. You are putting them in a position to fail and potentially derail their confidence and success in the league. And I think that a good coach is able to recognize a player's strengths and weaknesses and play, and get him in the best position to succeed. This quote by Davis Webb tells me all I need to know in terms of, listen, don't handcuff these guys. Allow them to play into their strengths. See where they're really good and make that even better. So it's not to ignore their weaknesses, but you have to move them away from positions where they might fail, where it's something that they really struggle with, and especially if it's a consistent problem that they're dealing with. So that's a huge philosophy difference from Todd Bowles that I see, and something that I really appreciate. So that's the idea here, as you guys can kind of parse probably already, is that Davis Webb would come in as offensive coordinator, because he has not done that yet. If he comes here to Tampa as our offensive coordinator, we get a whole year of him play calling, which, listen, the one time he did it in Denver, it looked fantastic. So he does that. He's coaching up Baker Mayfield and getting really close with him. And then we upgrade him to head coach. Listen, he's already getting head coaching interviews. We have to get this guy as a coordinator and essentially promise him the head coaching position the next year. This is what we should have done with Liam Cohen, and now Davis Webb would be the perfect antidote to that exact same situation, where we would have this young guy who is just ready to go in terms of just being a leader and forming a new hopeful regime in Tampa Bay. So that is really where the philosophy is coming from. This position, I should remind people, is very, very exciting for a lot of potential candidates. Greg Allman was saying that, listen, I think the success of Canales and Cohen makes the Bucs offensive coordinator job working with Mayfield under Bowles an attractive spot, with the talent to help a candidate move forward towards head coach. This means that the Bucs have a really good selling point, and the only detractor really is, okay, if I go there and don't do well, then I could derail my career potentially, like a Josh Grizzard, where it's listen, it's all the success of the offense is basically all on you. Todd Bowles is very hands-off when it comes to the offense, and if it doesn't do well, then that's on you. But the thing is, you are set up to succeed in Tampa with this offense. The amount of talent that we have a good offensive line, a good quarterback, the best receiver core, an amazing young running back, all the pieces are there for you to succeed, and Bowles is giving you basically full reign. If you have confidence in your play calling and the players that are here in Tampa, there's no reason why you shouldn't want to come here and take advantage of developing this offense and mold it to what your system is. So this is my call to Tampa. I really want to beg them here. Go get Davis Webb. This guy is the real deal. I know he is. And he would do wonders here in Tampa Bay. I think a lot of people. We'll talk about other candidates as we go forward. There will be more interviews. The Sean McVay tree rarely goes wrong, and so people are going to be looking at those specific coaches as well, just like Cohen was from the Cohen tree. Or from the McVay tree, sorry. But this is a bit different. And a lot of people are the Sean Payton tree, is that really where they want to go? I think so. I mean, we know Sean Payton has a ton of success whenever he faces the NFC South. So it's, like I said, not a coincidence. He is getting head coaching without coordinator experience, head coaching interviews. And I think we should get ahead of this. I think we pay him as much money as we have to. get him in here and start the next chapter of the Buccaneers football. Where, listen, I guess we will have Todd Bowles as our head coach this year. My guess is he will not be the head coach in 2027, and this will be hopefully his successor regarding just the plan and all this. So, question is for you guys, and I really want to
Before we get into the rest of today's show, this video.
Question is for you guys. Do you believe in this plan that I'm pitching here? Do you think that Davis Webb could be the answer, or do you really prefer someone else? And let me know about which candidate you feel the strongest about. We talked about Mike McDaniel yesterday, and I said my grievances on that in terms of just I don't think that elevating him to head coach after spending a year as offensive coordinator is going to be the long-term answer for the Buccaneers because we saw kind of his ceiling in Miami. I'd rather go with someone who's a bit more fresh and unproven, hasn't shown yet what he's capable of. But I'm curious, is there another candidate besides those two that you want me to talk about and get into? I'd be very curious to hear all of that stuff. But yeah, let me know in the comments below, subscribe, like, all that good stuff, and I'll see you guys in the next video.